welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Imagine with Izzy, and today we are going to be doing weeks 2, 3 and 4 of my bullet journal setup. So I'm not really sure if you would count this as minimalist because I do have a quite simple design, but I think it looks nice, so you call it whatever you want. So first what we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 vertical lines down the middle and then 2 on the side. And then I'm going to join those up with horizontal lines. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to kind of like have the date in the middle and I'm going to have boxes on each separate side. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining up my boxes, joining them all up so that it will look all nice and simple but also very effective. I quite like this design. So next what I did is I got my black one and I outlined every single box. I wanted to at first do like curved box lines, but then I realised that I'm not very good at it, so I kind of just kept it straight. I think the black makes it look quite nice because I was going to do it in pink, but then I wanted my writing to be in a pink. I feel like this spread could fit into like whatever theme you're doing, and I really like it because you can separate it from like work life and home life, or from school life and home life. So if you have loads of homework due or something, then you can separate that from if you have like parties or appointments. You out, you can turn the book so that you can get really nice straight lines. Me personally, I hate having wiggly lines because what's the point when you can have nice straight ones? But if you like wiggly lines, go ahead. So what I do now is I'm looking at my calendar because I want to make sure that the dates are perfect for when I'm looking back at the week that I'm using it for. It's also very useful if you've done a calendar in your bullet journal setup like I did, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave the link down below. But it's useful because you can just literally go back instead of having to look on your phone or whatever. But yeah, so I made a mistake there because I wrote the number 17 instead of notes, but that's okay. I just took my pink and I coloured on top of it, and then I took the black and then I coloured on top of that as well. If you're not doing this for this particular set of days, which I don't think you were because I did this for the week before, but I wanted all 3 together, so I kind of just did them all together. But what you do is you just change the dates. It's not that hard and it still looks exactly the same. But I kind of felt that it looked a bit plain, so I wanted to write a quote. I wrote ice cream solves all because ice cream solves all problems. Like, if it doesn't, then what? But ice cream is the theme of my bullet journaling this month, so if you haven't seen that video, like I said beforehand, I'll leave it in the description. But I kind of did this quote because I feel like it just, I don't know, motivates you somehow. But then I took my nice bright pink / orange gel pen, went on top of it and just wrote on top of it because I think it just looks really cool. It didn't take me long to do that, but I'm not the best at calligraphy, so if you are a lot better, obviously it will look a lot nicer for you. What I was also going to say is, you know, see the numbers, the words underneath, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you want to change that up somehow, like do calligraphy or something, then you can. But here is the final result. So for week 3, what I did was I drew 2 boxes on each page and I split them up into quarters, which I thought looks quite nice, but I wanted to add a little bit of something different, so I incorporated some nice pink washi tape, which goes with my theme because obviously I am doing like ice lollies that are pink and green and stuff. So I used pink for all the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which you obviously know. And then I put them on the top of each of the boxes because each box stands for one day. So I did it for each box except for my notes box because I want that to be a green so that all the colours of the week, all my washi tapes fit in with my theme. So what I did next was, because I had a little bit of space at the bottom, I got my washi tape and I just did 2 long pieces down the bottom and I just used that. So then I got my green washi tape and I did that for the notes page. So then I went over and I got my nice super tip and I wrote all the days of the week. So I didn't want to do calligraphy because I didn't want it to look too like showy. I don't know why. But I just did this really curly handwriting, but you can do like blocked handwriting or kind of tiny handwriting. So this one came out really cool. So welcome to week 4. So as I said, you can use these setups for any week you want. I just happened to do it in this order. So what I did was I drew 2 lines. I was supposed to draw horizontal lines all the way down the page, but I don't know why I left a gap. So I kind of did dots anyways so that I could just see where I wanted them to cross over, because I didn't want it to be blocks like the setup I did before. I want it to be having gaps because I think it just looks nice like that. And in those gaps was where I was going to write the title. I don't think this is one of my best spreads, but it is quite nice and it is a minimalist spread. So if you don't want to do too much work, you just want it to be easy, this one is quite a good spread to do. So what I did was I grabbed my brush pen and I was going to do some sort of calligraphy, not too fancy, just quite tiny. And because I wanted it to look quite cool, I was supposed to grab my other brush pen, but since I couldn't find that Tomboy Fudenoski one, I just grabbed my normal one. So I used all of these and I wrote Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday going downwards on each of the little gaps I left between, and I just wrote the days of the week. Again, like I said, if you're a minimalist person and you don't like big fancy spreads, you can just write letters, like simple, really cool letters, like block letters, or just write the words. I wanted it to be short and sweet because I want it to be perfectly in the middle. Even though it really wasn't, I think it still looked cool how it was. So I did this for all the days, and then at the bottom I wrote notes. On its own, I think it looks really cool, but for some reason I decided to be extra and I got out my ruler and I'm just going to colour in each of these strips pink. So I don't really like it now that I'm looking back at it because I think it looks better plain, but there's nothing I can do now because I've already started it, so I may as well continue with it. As you can see, I coloured in quite carefully because I didn't want to smudge my calligraphy, because I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to rip out pages, because there's no point in ripping out pages of your bullet journal, because at the end of the day, it can't look perfect, but it will look how it looks. So I am going to keep it, yeah. And at the end of the day, it's my opinion and it's your opinion as a person, whether you like it or not. And if you do or you don't, then you keep it or you don't keep it. To add some extra, I don't know what you want to call it, glamour, I just got this black biro I found in my pencil case, and I drew lines down the middle of where the titles of the days of the week were. It doesn't really show up so when you look at it, but when you look at it quite closely, then you can see it. It looks okay. As I said, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but I mean, why not go extra sometimes? So it is a bit hard to do calligraphy and then do colouring on top of that, because I didn't want to smudge the ink. So what I did was I kind of avoided the spaces, and then I went over it with my pink super tip and then just filled in the little gap areas. So then I also picked up my Tipp-Ex because I didn't want it to like overrun each other, but I think it looks okay now. So I really liked my first spread, which is here. I like my second one. My third one is not my best, but at least I have 2 others. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.